Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to be talking about Commander and playing Commander online with Magic the Gathering. Currently, Commander is Magic the Gathering's most popular format. There's some huge news that came out over the last couple of days, though. Currently, you can't really play it online on the biggest Magic the Gathering platform, which is Magic Arena, which is interesting. They have announced previously that they were working on more than 2 players on it, which was good, and I was really kind of looking forward to that and stuff. It is available on Magic Online, but that's a smaller platform, and the aesthetic definitely turns some people off. It looks like it was made in, the early 2000s, and that's because it was. However, the main kind of platform is Magic Arena, and at the moment it only supports 2-player games. It does have Brawl, which is kind of similar and stuff, but not exactly. However, they announced that while Arena is investigating 4-player games, and they actually sent out like a thing the other day, a survey that had two-headed giant and stuff on that. Notice on that one, it did not have Commander, which was interesting. Hasbro's CEO did announce that they are testing a new game solely for Commander, though, that is separate to Arena, that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm a little bit kind of worried about this. I think there's some pros and cons and stuff like that I'm going to talk about. But I'm a bit on the fence about it. So is having a separate platform a good thing, separate to Magic Arena? Before go into it, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you do all that kind of stuff. It's late at night, so I'm not going to do too much on it, but trying to hit 10,000. So the pros, having a platform dedicated to Commander means that I think it's going to be working the most optimal it can. Like they can dedicate all their resources towards Commander, and you can have Commander, then you can have Plane Chase and Arch Enemy and that kind of stuff. The player base would be on one dedicated platform as well, and can have its own ecosystem separate to Arena and online, with maybe easier ways to get the cards, because there are so many cards that are legal in Commander that they have to go back and add in. So easier ways to be able to get them. They could also tie it into the physical precon. So say, for example, you buy a precon and it has a code that lets you unlock that deck on whatever, Commander Online or whatever. That's something similar to the way, what is it? The Pokemon card game does it, where when you get the deck, it comes with a code for that deck. It can do cool stuff like that. And maybe they can make it more social than Arena and online. And the thing is that Arena would need a huge overhaul to be able to support Commander in regards to its UI, right? The UI in Arena is absolutely beautiful and stunning and stuff. It needs an overhaul to be able to support Commander, because things will just get too tiny as it is. Sometimes I'm finding things get a little bit small in it when you've got heaps and heaps of creatures out. Having 4 players doing that exact same thing is going to be a bit, Online does it pretty well, but again, people don't like online because of the aesthetic. I love it. I think it's fine, but people just kind of turned off a bit because of that. So the cons, Arena and online progress won't transfer over most likely, right? So if you've got a whole huge collection on Magic Arena, it's not going to transfer over to this new Commander, which is a bit disturbing, not disturbing, a bit worrying, because you have a huge number of cards on Arena. Not being able to have them across there is going to be a bit, annoying. They could make gathering the cards a lot worse than it is now. I doubt it. I think they'll make it better, but they could make it worse. There is a lot of cards in that backlog that are used for Commander as well. You can use cards all the way back to the start of the game. Not utilizing Arena Online that already have a huge amount implemented seems a bit odd. And though I guess they could do some kind of importing across from it, if they're using a similar code base to Arena as to the Commander one, then they could potentially transfer stuff over. The other thing is that Arena and Online already have a big dedicated player base. Not taking advantage of that is a bit odd. I think that going to Online 2.0 or something would be better, or, rejigging Arena somehow could work out better in regards to keeping the player base together, but we'll see. The other thing is that people are less likely to try other formats if it's a Commander-only app, right? The reason I play online isn't to play Commander, obviously, it's to play Standard. And, you could have people playing Standard, then cross over into Commander, or back and forth, right? If they wanted to try and get these Commander players over to play Standard, to make a completely separate app for it is going to be, it's not going to be doing that kind of timeline across anymore, which is, Overall, my thoughts, I think it's too early to tell. We don't know enough about it. We don't know much about it at all, really. And there are a lot of pros and cons either way. I am leaning towards being worried about it though more, just because Arena is huge and splitting that player base is a call, and I could easily see it being far more expensive and cumbersome than Arena. Or they could lean into that actual Commander aspect and make it, cheaper. You could get a whole bunch of cards, but they are going to be more expensive. Like cheaper to get, because you're just getting a huge amount of cards, but because Commander uses a huge amount of cards, you're more likely to get more and more cards, right? Like you need heaps of cards. So, it's kind of a bit on the fence as to which way it could go. Maybe they also implement it so you have like an actual binder essentially in this new Commander one, where at the moment, with Commander, there's no point, or like the way Arena works is there's no point having more than 4 of one of a card, despite the fact you might have 2 decks with 4 of those cards in it. So this way they can lean more into that Commander aspect where, maybe you've got 5 copies of Vampiric Tutor, but that's because you need them for 5 different decks. Who knows? There's lots of interesting ways they could do this. There's lots of awful ways they could do it, and there's lots of great ways they could do it. I think it's just a bit too early to tell either way, but yeah, I wanted to make this video to kind of share with you guys the news. I know it's a little bit late. I've been super busy the last few days, but yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Let me know. Have a great day and goodbye.